everyone. Let me start with a story from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits about a farmer who set out to plow his field one morning. He started out early to oil his tractor and found that he needed more oil. So he headed towards the barn to get some. On the way to the barn, he noticed that the pigs hadn't been fed. So he started towards the corn bin where he saw some sacks. That reminded him that the potatoes were sprouting. So he started for the potato pit. As he passed the wood pile, he remembered that his wife wanted some wood for the house. While he was picking up the wood sticks, he spotted a chicken that was ailing. So he dropped the wood pile and went to its rescue. When evening arrived, the tractor was still in the barn. The field was unplowed. The pigs were not fed, the potato was not catered for, his wife did not have wood, and his chicken was still ailing. The poor old farmer had worked hard all day and hadn't accomplished the main thing that he had set out to do that day. Have you ever felt this way? If yes, you are in the right place. Welcome to this first video on productivity management. Hope you benefit from this. If you do, remember to like and comment and subscribe to the channel for future updates. The first productivity enhancing tool that we are going to learn is the Pareto Principle. The Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 rule or the law of the vital few or the principle of factor sparsity, states that for many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from the 20% of its causes. Management consultant Joseph M. Juran suggested the principle and named it after the Italian economist Wilfred Pareto, who noted this 80-20 connection in 1896. In his first work, Pareto showed that approximately 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Over the years, productivity experts, economists, and others have noticed this is the case in other areas and not just land ownership. Pareto is all around us. The Pareto Principle allows you to distill the essential from the fluff. Let's see a few examples. The benefits of applying Pareto Principle are many. The first one being less stress. When you're spending a ton of time working on tasks that don't produce any real results, you are eventually going to start to feel overwhelmed or even worse, burnt out. Applying the 80-20 rule allows you to hone in on the tasks that have real impact on your business. Focus your time and energy on those tasks that are going to get more done with less effort. It's like an antidote for your stress. Another benefit of Pareto is higher levels of engagement with your work. In addition to making you feel overwhelmed, spending a lot of time and energy on tasks that aren't adding any value, aren't working for you, can make you feel bored, frustrated, and disengaged with your work. When you apply the 80-20 rule to your business, you spend more time on tasks that really matter, which can lead to more enjoyment of and engagement with your work. Lastly, applying the Pareto Principle allows for more time for passions outside of work. The Pareto Principle allows you to get more done with less effort. This frees up time and energy in your life that you can use to pursue your passions outside of work. For example, spending time with your family or exploring new hobbies. Hope you are ready to apply the Pareto Principle to boost your productivity. I've created a simple framework that might help you apply Pareto to your day-to-day work. The framework consists of a series of steps, namely track, highlight, allocate, innovate, and repeat. The first step or part of using Pareto Principle in your life is to recognize which things, tasks, people, and areas of focus are producing best results in your life. I'm sure you've already heard you can only improve what you measure. In our case, what you track. So, the first step in the framework asks you to track. But what should you track? The simple answer is track your time. The only way the 80-20 rule works is if you can accurately identify which 20% of your efforts are producing 80% of your results. And more importantly, which 80% of your efforts aren't really working for you. And the best way to identify those is to take a deep dive into how you're spending your time. Did you spend 10 minutes in between meetings scrolling through Instagram? Log it. Did you spend your time entire morning on client calls? Log it. Did you get stuck with hours of laundry? Spend a couple of hours cleaning your inbox? Or did you hit the gym for a midday workout? Log it, log it, log it. After a full week of tracking your time, you will have a pretty accurate outline of where your time is being spent. If you do your time inventory using a time tracking tool, you can actually visualize where your time is being spent using different charts and graphs. Once you're done with tracking, you should distinguish the important things from the ones that only consume your time. Ask yourself, which type of customers generate most revenue? Which products are best? Which employees contribute to most of the results in your organization or team? Write down the best-selling products, employees, and see what your top customers have in common. I took some inspiration from Franklin Covey's time management matrix that buckets your tasks into important and urgent metrics. On similar lines, I've classified the tracked tasks from step 1 into a matrix across time consumed and impact created. Start by plotting your tasks from step 1 into the 4 quadrants. The 4 quadrants are high impact, low time consuming; high impact, more time consuming; low impact, less time consuming; and lastly, low impact but very high time consuming. Once you've plotted your tasks that you tracked in step 1 into the 4 quadrants, you can now focus on the quadrant that gives you maximum output for the least time and effort consumption. By now you should know what is important. Now it's time to allocate our time and resources appropriately. As the 80-20 rule suggests, we should dedicate 80% of our time, money, resources in general towards the things that work best. The important 20% we previously identified. When it comes to productivity, it makes sense to focus your time on the tasks on the top left quadrant that require less time but yield great results. You'll probably ask, what about the other 80% of the products, services, customers, etc.? If we strictly follow the Pareto Principle, we should be using the remaining 20% of our time with what's left over. However, in some cases, we should simply do away with the things that don't work and use the free time to innovate and rejuvenate. Since the only thing certain in life is change, we should give ourselves some time to try new ideas, retire some products, and simplify our portfolio. This will clear your head and will also give you some space for future improvements. The Pareto Principle says that 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. But the flip side of that can also be true. If there is something in your business that is taking up 80% of your time, energy, and resources, but only producing 20% of the results, for example, a difficult client, get rid of it. Spending time and energy on these tasks in your business will not only cause a serious drop in productivity, but can also be a one-way ticket to burnout. Innovation, if channeled in the right way, can also produce better quality results. For example, don't expand a list of contacts just to have a large network. Figure out from whom you will benefit the most and focus your time and energy on developing and maintaining those specific relationships. The last step in the framework is repeat. The 80-20 rule gives you a good strategy on how to spend your resources. In some cases, it can serve you for a couple of months or even years. Still, you should regularly revisit the rule. Sift through the things that you have on your to-do list. This will help you ditch the tasks that are no longer working for you so that you have enough time for your essentials. With that, we complete the 5-step process on applying Pareto Principle in our day-to-day lives. Track your time. Highlight what adds value and what does not. Allocate 80% of your time to tasks that add value. Innovate to continuously improve how you generate value. Last but not the least, every couple of months, revisit the tracker to ensure you're focusing on the 20% tasks that generate 80% of the value. Thank you so much for staying through the video. I'd like to end the video with a quote by Henry D. Thoreau. It's not enough to be busy, so are ants. The question is, what are you busy about? Thank you.